Earlier this week, it was announced that Bray Wyatt would be nearing a return soon, after an illness that was not only career-threatening, but life-threatening. Welcome to the Wrestling Universe channel, my name is Cosk, and today we will be looking at 5 pitches for Bray Wyatt when he returns. These pitches will not only be based on feuds he could have, but also characters he could have, or bring back, or continue. We'll get into it more as the video goes on, but let's get right into it with the first idea, the first pitch, and that is the return of the Wyatt family. Cult leader Bray is back, or in this timeline he's back. One of my strongest pitches would be to bring back what made Bray Wyatt so special, which was the cult leader gimmick. Obviously back then it was Bray Wyatt alongside Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, but I feel like if you were to bring it back, Eric Rowan could be a part of it, but I feel like it would be better if it was new stars who never really got that opportunity, or who are in NXT now and looking for an opportunity who may not get that if it's not for this gimmick, and I feel like there's a few stars who could fit there. Joe Gacy comes to mind. I feel like he's doing something quite similar, and if you were to go to the main roster, I don't think he should lead the faction, but maybe be a follower of the new Bray Wyatt. I feel like there's an argument to be made that maybe you do bring back his talent, like Eric Rowan, like Bo Dallas. Well, there's a lot of talents that you could put in this stable. Shout here is maybe bring back Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf to have like a Sanity Wyatt family crossover type thing, because I feel like they're very good at the follower gimmick, and I also just really want to see them on my TV. But yeah, there's Alexa Bliss. I'm not really a fan of Alexa Bliss under this gimmick. I'm gonna be honest, but there's one of the most likely options if this were to be a thing. I feel like they're connected forever, Wyatt and Bray. So Wyatt and Alexa, not Wyatt and Bray. So yeah, I feel like this version of the Wyatt family could really take the WWE by storm. There's an opening for a top faction, which the Judgment Day is filling out, but I don't feel like that is permanent, especially with dissension between Balor and Priest. So yeah, I feel like Wyatt and a Wyatt family could take the spot that the Bloodline used to have. Not be as dominant, but if you put the right members in there, they could hold the gold. I feel like Bray Wyatt could avenge himself for the horrible Seth Rollins story, and they can make justice with a new, better feud where Wyatt could win the World Championship. I feel like maybe other members such as, let's say, Rowan and Joe Gacy could go for the tag titles. I don't think they should win them, but they could be really good contenders. Like, you could have a fairly dominant faction. Maybe when Braun Strowman returns from his, I believe, concussion, he could be a top star there. He could be a mid-card champion there. Like a US champion, perhaps. I don't think he should dethrone Gunther. However, there is one problem with this, and a problem that you would see like later on, and that is you will have to kind of sweep the Uncle Howdy stuff under the rug. So another pitch would be to continue the Uncle Howdy program. Make it a lot faster, of course, because back when Wyatt was active, they would just drag it on for weeks with no development. Bray Wyatt had a really poor feud with LA Knight, which he had one match in his entire run there, and he was out with illness, but like that's still 4 months active with nothing other than one really weird match. Personally, I wouldn't really be a big fan of bringing back the Uncle Howdy stuff. I don't think it worked. But if you want to maybe make it faster, kind of get to the point more, I feel like it could work. I feel like there were grounds for a good story, but they were too slow with it, and they lost the interest of the fans. Maybe this is a second chance to really dig deep into that story. People are going to want to care about Bray Wyatt because of what he's been through, his story. So with that leeway that you now have with the fans, maybe you could have an argument for continuing the story, getting to the point, and maybe it does work out. Now we're going to go into one last character pitch before we get into some feuds, and that is the return of The Fiend. This is a very interesting shout because The Fiend is a very controversial gimmick. On one hand, The Fiend was a massive star in the WWE. He was a huge merch draw. He had some great Firefly Funhouse segments, and he had some fairly entertaining matches with Daniel Bryan, for example, or fairly entertaining match, I guess, because my next point was going to be the matches weren't very good. Some of the feuds weren't very good. You have to remember the Seth Rollins match. You have to remember the Goldberg match. You have to remember, God, what else? Like the Braun Strowman cinematic match. So this is probably my least favorite pitch, but I feel like if they could make it work, then it could be good. Because the thing is with The Fiend, it's a brilliant character. Like, it's a brilliant character if you look into it and look at what it was supposed to be. So this really depends on how much you trust the WWE to pull it off. In the sense that this could either be fantastic work. You're tuning in every week to see what The Fiend's doing. He could continue targeting the demons of his past. But at the same time, it's very easy to screw up, and I don't know if I have my faith in the WWE creative team to pull this off. I don't know if I have faith in any creative team to pull off such a character like The Fiend. Maybe wrestling is too simple for a character as complex as The Fiend. To move on to feuds. Potential feuds you could have with any of these characters. The first one, Adrenaline in My Soul, something Cody Rhodes. We will go with Cody Rhodes as one of the two big feuds. This could either be very good and or very funny. The promos would be to a certain audience, they would be cinema, and to another audience, they would be the goofiest thing you've ever seen. But I don't think anyone would necessarily hate it, and I feel like these two could pull off a great feud if given the opportunity. I feel like their characters would mesh well together. They're both dramatic wrestlers, in the sense they care about their work a lot. They put a lot of passion to their work, and sometimes it comes across well and sometimes it doesn't. But I feel like a feud between them would be very unique, and I feel like it would be a big money drawing feud. These two are big stars. Who would win? That's the problem, because you're supposed to be building up Cody Rhodes to a Roman Reigns match, or at least that's the alleged plan. And Bray Wyatt, this would be his return feud. So do you want Bray Wyatt to come back and lose? Will this be a multi-match series where they trade wins? I don't know. That's the difficult part of this, but I think it could work. I really do. I think Cody Rhodes versus Bray Wyatt could be very sports entertaining. I'll put it like that. Good might be a strong word. Sports entertaining, I will be entertained by Bray Wyatt's Cody Rhodes feud, and I do think it can be good. I think these two are incredible promos. So if given good material, if given a good direction, they could produce fantastic work. All they have to do is give them a reason to be feuding with each other. Maybe Bray Wyatt sees Cody Rhodes as this poster boy that he never was. He's seen Cody Rhodes rise to the top of his company while he's been gone, first getting released, and by his illness, he never really had the chance that Cody Rhodes had. Maybe it can spark some jealousy. But that's just a pitch. And the final pitch, it's more of a long-term story, because I don't think they should have a match immediately. But I would have Bray Wyatt target Roman Reigns. I mean, you have to go with Roman Reigns when you're talking about any big star. Roman Reigns is the face of the company. It's his company. And I don't think the feud should result in a match immediately. I feel like Bray Wyatt should have maybe other programs leading to it. I feel like he should build the Roman match immediately, have some teasers here and there, have maybe one of the puppets and like the background of a Roman segment, not like in a goofy way, but more so just as a teaser, as Roman does a serious thing, and you just like, you have to be inside to know. You have to like have eagle eyes to see it, and or be a Twitter user, I guess. I feel like maybe a Bray Wyatt solo match could work too while you build this up. Bray Wyatt could kind of talk trash about Roman, talk about how he's a false prophet, talk about how he's just vulnerable, how this character is just him trying to get over how he was hated for years. I feel like it could work. I feel like this could be some great television. I feel like Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt could work well together. And yeah, what do you guys think? Who would you have Bray Wyatt face off with? What programs would you have Bray in? What character would you have Bray use? Thank you for joining me. I've been Cosk. Subscribe for more.